Hi guys. So I'm just doing a random video today, just random content, and I think what I'll name this one is what is my best advice. My best advice is be the change. Look, I know this sounds corny, okay? But be the change that you want to see in the world. You guys remember when we were in school, right? And our teachers, they had like those little things on the walls and stuff. It would have like motivational speeches or like quotes, you know. I'll never forget, I had my math teacher, and I was not the greatest in math, like, ever, unless it's counting my money, you know, because I know every last dollar. But as far as like algorithms and all of that stuff, I had to learn that pretty quickly when I graduated, and not my thing. Anyway, so when I was in my math class, okay, and she used to have like this projection, the projector, like the whiteboard and stuff. And where my seat was, I was right here. And then as I looked straight forward, I always seen this. She had this one poster up there. I think it might have been the only poster in the whole room. And it had a diagram of the world. And the quote was, "Be the change that you want to see in the world." Baby, when I tell you, every day I was looking at that poster. Every day, because I didn't know nothing about what this lady was talking about at all. So I would just look at my poster, or her poster, but I really didn't go mine, because it was for me. But I'm looking at it and I'm just like, wow, like, I remember one day I was like, that is such a nice poster. You know what I mean? Like, baby, be the change that you want to see in the world. That means that if we all treat each other equally, then we should be good. Treat me with the respect that you want, and I treat you with the same respect. And it even had like these little, like, it had like the image of the people holding hands and stuff. Like, I like that. I'm almost 30, okay, and still to this day I be looking back at that poster. I still remember what it looked like and everything, the whole thing, because that's how many times I done looked at it. And I was just like, wow. It's such a good quote though, because out here in the real world, we get distracted by everything around us. And I mean people, gossip, drama, work, school, TV shows. Baby, we get distracted. Back then, I was always grounded. So my dad did not play that. Like, if I was being bad, which I was, he would take away my TV. Baby, when you got home from school, you reading them books. That's what you're gonna do. So my space, or my headspace, was already there. I was already kind of like drifting, into my own thoughts. And it's not a bad thing. It's actually something that we should practice now. Instead of looking at the electronics and everything that we have, it helps us, kind of get in tune with our environment and the people who are around us. So there's nothing wrong with it. But now I look at this, right? And as I've grown, again, I'm almost 30, and there were times in my life where I totally discarded that, like that value that I held. And I started just kind of like drifting away. Baby, would I get caught up? I would get caught up in social media, what's cool, what's hip, what's not cool, everything in between. Now that I'm older, I'm looking back and I'm like, the true values in life is family. Family is such a big value. You don't really know it until you start missing out on it. People start moving away, Relationships grow distant. The laughter, the great times that you once had kind of turns into moments of silence, moments of sadness, despair. And once we kind of catch on to it, we realize that those voids were fulfilled by happy and loving moments with our family. Who would have known? So, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, we learn. We get through it, we learn it, and we kind of open our eye, our third eye right here. And then we say, oh, wow, that is true. Then we reconcile, we rekindle, we unite, we have reunions, and then we're back onto our pace, baby. I was going to make a totally different video than what I am, but we're just going to ride it out. And in this one, I have to say the true meaning of life is to experience it, is to make mistakes, no matter how big, no matter how small. We make mistakes. What really matters is during our moments of failure, which would be our mistakes, our rebellion, the things that we just, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And by the way, I'm gonna throw a little biblical stuff in here right now, okay? Y'all don't even know what I know this. The devil. The devil really represents, I'm gonna do what I want, when I want, how I want, and can't nobody tell me nothing. That's the devil. Because then we get into this routine of a mindset that tells us I can do whatever I want. And sure, we can. We are a free country. If you live into the United States, baby, it is a free country. Aren't we so blessed? However, everything comes with a cost. Every action has a reaction or a consequence. So yeah, you can do whatever you want to, whenever you want, however you want, like you said. But does that come with a consequence? You hurt me, baby, you gonna get that tenfold. Somebody cheats on somebody, baby, you gonna get that tenfold. You gonna get that karma. These are perfect examples of the mindset of somebody who feels entitled. And again, that is what the devil or Lucifer represents. We all have that in us. And when I say that, we all have the ability to turn that on, right? We can all be like, you know what, fuck what you said. I ain't hearing none of that. I'm gonna do whatever I want, when I want, how I want, and can't nobody tell me shit. And how I know this is because I've been there, done that, wore the baby, I don't wear the t-shirt so much I ain't even got a t-shirt on. Okay? Take this as me preaching real shit and real values into all of the youth that is watching my video. Whether you're young, whether you're old, take my words of wisdom because I've been there and I've done it. And it only leads you to failure. Only leads you there. You may not think so at the time. You think you're living your best life, baby. I'm doing me. Shit, I'm doing whatever I want to. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm living my best life. Relationships start failing. You done got broken up with, cheated on. Your own best friends don't want to be around you. Your bills are over past due, baby. So who's really winning in life? Because it ain't you. Not with that damn mindset. I'm just saying. And I'm only speaking this out of purity. I know where I know where my heart stands. I know where my intentions stand. And what I did learn about life is that it's all about intention too. If you have goodwill and you have good intention, even when you have to like break the ice and make shit awkward or whatever, you got to say stuff that nobody else is going to say. You got to be a little cringe. You have good intention, that blessing will come back to you. If you're doing shit out of ill will, out of malice, out of remorse or resentment, you ain't gonna get nowhere but your heart broken. And I'm telling you that because again, I've been there. So I don't want nobody else to follow into those same footsteps. And it's easy to. It like, baby, for those who are in that phase right now, they're gonna look at my video and be like, girl, bye. I'm not hearing none of that. An eye for an eye. And don't get shit wrong. That's in my bloodline, baby. I do believe in an eye for an eye. But always think about when you're on the other side of that fence. You know? We don't want to get there. And it's not fun. There's no vegetation, baby. There's no relationships. There's nothing on the other side of that fence except for you, yourself, and I. You. Not a place to be. Once I start coming out of that and I realized, like, my friends started hitting me back up, bitch. I'm texting them every day. Baby, I done missed you. Girl, you don't know how bad I missed you. My man's acting right. He's everything going okay. He's loving on me every day, massaging me every day. Like, damn, I missed you too. My bills up to paid. You know, them things looking good. Dang, I'm winning in life. I'm winning. Your bills are paid. You got good relationships, a good reputation. You got solid people around you in relationships that are like this, where can't nobody tell you shit. Because these people gonna back you up and you're gonna back them up. This is a two-way street. When you get to that point, it's like, oh yeah, I done learned my lesson so much that you ain't gotta tell me twice. You don't even have to tell me a half of a time, because I already got it. I ain't doing that shit no more. I am never going back down that road no more. Maturity. This is what maturity looks like. And when I tell y'all that I done been through it all. And now I look at myself from back then and I see how I am now. I've risen to the top. I risen to the top? And I did. So this is good advice, okay? The other thing that I do want to give, I give that advice in the other video. I'll do another video for that because some of y'all might not be ready, you know. But just as long as you are a decent person and you live by your values and you respect other people, respect. That's what I have. Some of you guys, like, here's another thing. I never got into detail about my life. On this hand, I have loyalty. And I've had that tattoo since I was 17 years old. Because I done been through some things. Me and my auntie, we have the same tattoo. She is considered a sister of mine. Because we done been through some things together. Period. On this side, I have respect. Now, keep in mind, I was 16. These people didn't know how to do tattoos. Okay, so you see, it's kind of, it's a little bit, it's atrocious. Just like this one, right? Fearless. And people would be like, why didn't you have it covered up? Because it has a real value to it. Like, this shitty tattoo, but it got a real meaning to it. I don't know if I'll ever get it covered up, even though I want to. But why would I do that? Because it looks better to your eye? Yeah, it'll look better. Hell, it'll look better to me too. But the meaning behind it, the meaning behind these are when I was going through the darkest of my times. And so when I went through those darkest of my times, there was no other coping for me. So I got tattoos. The people who I got the tattoos from are meaningful. What it stands for is meaningful. Yeah, does it look like sloppy as hell? Yeah, of course. Do I want my body to look better than that? Yes. But there is this respect boundary that says, like, what I went through in that time, the handwriting and the person who I connected with to do my tattoo, their handwriting at the time, their shitty tattoo, how it came out, all of it has meaning. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit y'all. I probably will get it covered up. Not covered up, but enhanced. Where it says fearless, I'm still always going to have fearless, but I wanted to look a little better. When my phase that I'm going through right now ends, I will. But there is a phase that I'm going through that says these represent something meaningful to me. I have respect right here, and I have a crown. So a little bit of backstory: before I had this crown, it was stars. She put stars and they came out really faded and really jagged. So, and I don't know if you might even be able to see it. It's right here, these little stars. Now, respect and loyalty, they speak for themselves. So she got in contact with somebody that she was familiar with, and he came over and he was like, I'll do your tattoo, like it's no big deal. And I was like, oh, thank God, you know. So cool guy, respectable person, you know, but he was kind of just like the backup, you know, to help me out. So he put loyalty. I don't know if he did the respect. I don't think he did. I think she did that one. But he did put the crown here for me because I didn't know what to cover it up with. And when we think of respect, the first thing that came to my mind at the time was, oh, just put a crown. Because royalty, you know, you're gonna treat me like royalty, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, okay, well, not him, but like, you know, that's what I wanted as that tattoo. So he's like, fine. So at first he put 5 points as the crown, and I was like, oh, I don't know about that, because we did look it up and it represented something that I'm not a part of, you know, like I'm a civilian, you know what I mean? I don't want to get confused. So he fixed that for me. He added some more points, and honestly, it's not too bad for the time and age, you know. But these are things that I have to get fixed. But my point behind these are that when we stick to our values, what is most valuable to you? Respect, loyalty, honesty. If you have any others, then just let me know, okay? But those should be the first 3. Trust, but that comes in the line of work of all of those. So when I got these, they meant something in my life. And I knew at that time and age, I was 17, I realized these are my values that I'm going to always have to honor. If I don't honor them, I'm going to get tenfold. And that's kind of what happens throughout life when we go against our morals. You don't have to have a tattoo for it. This could be what you represent inside. And just as much as if somebody else goes against it, they have their repercussions, so do you. So my point of this video is to, again, cherish the relationships, cherish the people, cherish yourself. That's the last valuable lesson of this video. Cherishing yourself and your morals, what you stand for, always sticking by it. Baby, will it lead you to so many successful places, and places that you would have never thought that you would reach. I'm still climbing. But I already achieved all this, you know, like ain't nothing. This right here is nothing. As far as keeping up to that, I can be loyal all day, every day. It ain't nothing. To my friends, to my family, especially, of course, to my man. Because, baby, who finna get this cookie? Ain't nobody. Respect. I respect you, you respect me. Whatever you want, I'm on. That's what that means. And then, of course, fearless. Fearless means that I wear this on my chest, baby. I'm saying it with my chest. Even though it might be little and witty, I wear it on my chest. And that means that I'm going to always stand up for these, or you're going to have to see me. And whatever the outcome will be the outcome. That's fearless. I'm not scared of what God has in store for me. Never will be. Because he doesn't give these challenges to the weak. Okay? Even though sometimes I be feeling like that a little bit. I be feeling weak a little. But hey, I know I'm trusting God. That's just the point of this video. Now, I would love for you guys to share something with me. Share with me, what is the quote that has always stuck with you, that has always given you meaning or purpose? Please share, because I love those things. Baby, I'm very poetic, and I'm very, like, I love that. So I would love to hear what yours is. With that being said, peace out. I'll do another video, advice, like about little random things. For those of you I hope that this relates to, let this be encouraging, baby. You got everything that it takes. Spread that to other people. That's your purpose. Spread your values, what you stand for, what you represent to other people. Maybe it can make a big difference in the community. Bye, guys.